Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Good evening, folks. Let's do it one more time. Welcome to the ARA Porsche Cup for season 14. We close off the season back in Europe. We have gone to the likes of Asia. We have gone to North America. We have been to Oceania. And we've had a couple of trips in Europe, but we round off here at the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, a fantastic circuit based in the heart of Italy, a beautiful country, and welcome to the circuit. My name is Adam Reed. I'll be alongside Alexa Marshall for tonight, and in production, as always, Jim Cunningham. Welcome to the show. So we have got a very intriguing night of racing. 3 championships to decide tonight, and well, what an amazing one we have. Welcome in.
And it is going to be interesting nonetheless. It is wet, it is slippy. Adam, let's go for one final ride, shall we, this season, and kick it off with a bang. Because just throughout this season, you've seen so many drivers come and go, but right now, it looks really interesting. We'll start with the pro drivers so we can take you through this. As of course, going to be sitting up top is Paul Jouffreau. He's got a 67-point lead at the current moment. Can he claim it tonight? We'll wait and see. He sits P number 1. Tony Despotakis, the Greek driver, sits P number 2 on 700 exact, with Corey Lazarus P number 3. Second, Christian Carlson, Dominic Beck, Kim Bjorkland, Pascal Wheel, Kilde Siqueira, Frank Louise, Devidas Laurenonis, Steve Kleiss, Kevin Shavler, James Parker, Oliver Klutz, Joey Petwig, Jason Munson, Ben Pedersen, and of course Sebastian Orbendorfer will round out the pro standings. Or in fact, although we do have Ludwig Alexson also in there, who I almost missed. But let's go over to the AMs. That's how he currently sits. Quite a lot of them in contention, specifically Jouffreau, Despotakis, and Lazarus. Over to the amateurs, it's Lenny Kiefer who leads a lot closer in this one. Lenny Kiefer, 529 points, but not far behind on 505 is Gordon Haug. Tristan Engelstadt then sits P number 3 on 485 with 464 going to Ruben Iglesias, and then Alex Russell in P number 5 and Joey Ireland P number 6. Ryan Stringer sits P number 7, Thomas Warren P number 8, Max Nevin Shani P number 9 with Ruben Cueto in P number 10. Then Danny Huntley, Dylan Ham, Alice Siqueira, Philip Peniak, Christian Malaric, Xavier Bullier, Florian Egana, and Walid Fiza out there on the board as well. So they are going to be right there. But this is especially the interesting one in the AM here, Adam, because you get so many points here tonight, especially with 2 races on the board. And if you look at the split, especially between that P1 and P number 7 position, it is less than 100 points. So 2 races with so many points on the gain is really going to be an interesting one tonight, especially in this category.
You're right. There's going to be so much to look forward to. Yeah, you can see there the pros and the AMs are going to be so close in their contention. We've got 3 for the title in the pro category with, let's say, Paul Giffro on that 767 points ahead of Tony Despotakis. Yeah, Corey Lazarus is still there, but by a singular point he is pretty much in it. He's 139 behind Paul Giffro. So all Paul Giffro needs to do is outscore Tony Despotakis in that first race by 4 points, and he can wrap up the pro championship. But in the amateurs is a completely different story, because everyone down to Max Nevin Chai is in that championship fight. And trust me, with the rain you can see at stake, my word, it's going to be absolute chaos. But you know, I think it'll be Lenny Kiefer and Gordon Haug. I think are going to be a good 24 points between the top 2 as well. So you know, with these open opportunities, you've really got to try and attack the circuit. But of course, with the rain, it's really going to cause a lot of upsets. So for a lot of them, it's going to be about survival, I believe. And that's going to be really playing into the driver's mind. There is also a battle. I'm sure we'll be able to show it in a moment. In the Teams Championship, Sim Racing Norway, 1,340 points. The Unity Racing Teams, 1,217. So they're going to be potentially in battle. But you've also got to take into consideration ACA Esports Team, Quad Dash Racing, and WN and SE Motorsport. They're all on the 1,000 points. So yeah, you can definitely make something up here. But yeah, you can see that kind of, you know, that top 5 is really who you're looking at mathematically, but it's really those top 2 who we're going to be looking at. We kind of approach these last couple of moments in qualifying. I think a lot of the drivers have really had a good amount of practice during this kind of pre-session, because they really need it, especially with the you're seeing there the 127 we're seeing with Dominic Beck, who has gone off the road there, it seems, for the Similar Esports team. Yeah, currently sitting in 9th. It is currently Gordon Haug at the top of the standings, so it looks good for Sim Racing Norway. You know, they've managed to put their car up at the top of the standings for the amateurs, 157.130. And also you're just kind of looking around to see what can these guys potentially do. Paul Giffro currently on pole position for the pro category, but expect that to change unless the weather conditions continue to get worse here.
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at it right now. It's Gordon Haug who is on current overall pole and in AM. 1 minute 57.130 is the lap time to beat. Everyone's on wet tyres thanks to the weather that is there. But then it's Tristan Engelstadt, P number 2, P number 3 to Joey Ireland. Paul Giffro is in P number 4 overall, top in pro, with P number 5 overall, going back to the AM of Thomas Worm. So still quite a few from the catch up. About 3/10 separated the top 2, as you see on the board. 157.129 for Gordon Haug, 157.455 for Tristan Engelstadt. So that is how it sits. 1 minute 59.428 is the fastest time in pro, as that is a off track there for a moment. Going to be having a nice little bite of the gravel as you head completely across that first chicane. So this is really going to be the interesting part, I would say, here as well, with just over 4 minutes. With just under 4 minutes, I should say, as the Porsches are doing a bit of drift work tonight around the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. They are really drifting, but that's definitely the interesting part, because if it continues to rain, the more wet that the track's going to come, meaning that no matter even if you've got wet tyres on your car, you're going to be going slower. Like, realistically, that's just how it works, as Christian Carlson is going to, as Borkland, I should say, I was looking at the bottom of the screen for a sec, Borkland going to be going round at that corner. So, seems like already catching a few out tonight here, Adam. Are we going to see that in the race?
Yeah, also, Mr. Jufro, have you tried Formula Drift at all? Those were some pretty decent lines through the opening first cup, well, third corner on towards 4 and 5. But I definitely could do something along those lines. Maybe if he gets a little bit more budget in the bank, try a bit of Formula Drift. Why not? But yeah, you're completely right, Elector. If the rain does come down a little, continuously down here, we could be seeing an amateur front three here of Haug, Engelstadt, and Joey Island. Something really interesting to note here is I've not seen. I've not seen Lenny Kiefer on here. So unless he is, unless I'm being told wrong, he doesn't seem to be on this entry list, which is going to be a little bit worrying for him because, of course, leading the championship, you want to be involved in this race. But Gordon Haug seemingly has managed to turn up, and that should spark a big opportunity for him in this championship. All he needs really is to, as I say, all he needs to do is get those 24 points, which you can do by pretty much finishing this race tonight.
Yeah, no, it's as simple as if he finishes this first race, he will get those points because in the C format that we are running tonight, P1 gets 70 points with 63 going to P number 2, then P number 3 gets 58. It then goes down two points each time all the way down to P number 10, where it then goes down to 1 point per position lower. So to get the 24 points, he has to finish P27th in the first race, P26 to get an extra point ahead. And if we're looking at the board as it is at the moment, I don't believe we've even got 26 drivers on the grid. So it seems, if I'm looking at this correctly, or we may have around, we may have somewhere in the mid-20s, but I'm looking at this and it seems like, yeah, we got 24 drivers tonight. So he is got, as long as he finishes this first race, he is going to overtake Lenny Kiefer.
Big moment here in the championship and a big moment in these standings here. We're actually approaching now the last 20 seconds, and the amateur runner-up here could be finding himself on pole position. This could be massive for his title hopes. And we now tick down to the last 5 minutes of this one. 3, 2, 1. Checker flag is out, and we now have an amateur pole sitter for the first time in this season's championship. That is something we do not see often. And well, Gordon Haug is going to be a very, very lucky boy with an incredible vision, and I think it's going to be the time. So let's go through the grid. Gordon Haug will be on pole position alongside Tristan Engelstad, with Joey Island alongside Joey Petrie. Then we'll find Paul Jufro on the third row of the grid in P5. Will he be able to wrap up the championship with Thomas Verm alongside him? Ruben Iglesias will be alongside Corey Lazarus, with Kim Andre Bjorklund and Tony Despotakis, who'll be hoping to try and finish as high as he possibly can and be past that Frenchman in fifth. Dominic Beck and Oliver Schultz rounds out the sixth row of the grid before we then move further down onto the seventh row, where we find Steve Klyes and Helder Sekera. Christian Carlson for the Sim Racing Norway team alongside Kevin Chevalier and Danny Huntley, with Jason Munson and Sebastian Obendorfer. He'll be alongside Pascal Veal. Alex Rossell, the Spaniard, will be alongside Ryan Stringer on the 11th row, with the 12th row of the grid being Alex Kassir and Max Nevin Chai. And then we'll round off this grid here. With Max Nevin Chai, because of course we do have 24 cars on the grid, 12 rows to go through, and all we now have to do is wait. It looks like it is completely dried up, it seems. I don't see any kind of I don't really see any forms of wet patches on here, so the drivers will very much be in a stage where, you know, they won't be able to warm up anything, no tire warm ups, nothing, no burnouts. So they're just waiting the windscreen wipers you know, going at a ticking speed here. So they will be trying to clear any form of vision that they possibly can. But here we go. The Porsches are ready. Clutch is in. Build the revs. Watch for the lights. And we go racing here at Imola for the first time here. It looks like Gordon Howe got off to a decent start. Here comes the rain. It seems like the wet tires are definitely going to be the use here. Joey Ireland dropping back a couple of places, as well as, I believe, Tristan Engelstadt down in towards the first corner. And now we see that through Tamburello, they'll just try follow through. Somebody has spun round. It seems like they're going to cause a little bit of a blockage. It seems like potentially Danny Huntley in that Supremus Racing, or could be even Pascal Veal for the RT Esports. It did look mainly white, so I believe he might be involved in that. I think also Alex Casillas gone down a place. But for now, Gordon Howe continues to lead with Joey Ireland in second place. So looks like the two amateurs have got off pretty well, but it seemed like, I think maybe even Thomas Verm has not quite got off the best start, but Jufro is going to be hitting there right in the toe of the two cars ahead, just trying to find that space.
I mean, if you couldn't have asked for a better start, then you can go to Gordon Howe, because he got off that line absolutely perfectly. So did Paul Jufro, and Kimondre Bjorklund actually was 3 positions up, just being overtaken by Ruben Iglesias. But as they head through Mineral Waters, up through the left-hander now, and towards the chicane, it is all to play for, as Tony Despotakis is going to be falling down the order. Is that a contact for him down in Aqua Minerale? It seems like it possibly is, as he did not want that at all, and that's going to bring quite a bit of that to an end for him tonight as they all file through the chicane. It is the spray high into the sky, and they now go looking for the inside. It's Paul Jufro. It is going to be deep there for Joey Ireland, falling under the pressure. Joey Petrik's also going to flow through, and Joey Ireland losing out to Paul Jufro. Joey Petrik now up into the P2-3 position respectively.
Really good stuff there from himself there. Just managed to scare Joey Ireland off the roads there. So it seemed like for him that's not going to be that's not going to go good for the Briton, but the Frenchman will be absolutely loving this, and that is going to be a big send from Jufro, and absolutely goes on it. And it looks like Joey Petrik has made contact with Howe there for the Sim Racing Norway driver, has just managed to keep that position. Carnage in the background, Thomas Verm's falling down places, but the championship leader with an audacious dive bomb in the rain has managed to go straight on through. What a move. That was brave and bold and done with excellence. But Petrik's now going to try again here on Haug. I'm not entirely sure if the amateur is quite confident there. The rear kicks out from the Swiss driver, but they'll start climbing the hill and up towards the left-hander right at the top of this one. And my word, this is going to be superb stuff. But let's have a look and see what happened to Tony Despotakis. I wonder if he got a hit in towards Aqua Minerale, in towards the right hander. It looks like, yeah, he's hit the curb, it seems. Now he's gone round. Oh dear, that's not ideal whatsoever. And then that's that's the Unity Racing Team car of Kevin Chevalier. So I think in Tony's case, wrong Unity Racing car, unfortunately for him. But meanwhile, the other one is out front and leading comfortably.
Yeah, nice lead there. Here comes Ruben Iglesias trying to get past Kimondre Bjorklund, looking for the inside line, but going to file out of it for the time being, back into the single line. Corey Lazarus is going to be right there, though. He was alongside the rear left, looking for the move to get it done, but deciding against it. You never really want to make those moves in those final two corners. You want to have it into a proper braking zone, like Tamburello, or maybe even Tosa, all the way towards the back as they head through the right-hander now. That spray spray is absolutely monumental. You can see the cars, they just get covered in the mist. It's almost impossible as Paul Jouffreau is gonna get a slowdown popping up for a moment as all these drivers going over the curbs a little bit. Nice little jumping as there is the leader there as he lost about 3 tenths because of that slowdown as Christian Carlson seemingly also having a moment. Tony Despotakis gonna end up having a slowdown there. Oh, hello, who's that off on the right hand side? I believe that is Worm who's off on the right hand side. Yeah, so Beck now trying to fight his way through as well. It is all to play for. Corey Lazarus and Ruben Iglesias going to be fighting all the way through the left-hander now. And they go wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side for a square in the background.
Indeed, they head up towards Piratella of turn number 9 here, and they'll stay pretty tagging with each other. So it looks like Corey Lazarus just trying to take another place here, which he has successfully done. He's now going to try and go on the charge here for Joey Ireland, but this Gagler cars, I should say, looking extremely close to seeing the changes all the way through, as it looks like Thomas Verm has dropped right back to 17th here. Looking at the Eagle Speed Academy eSport driver Steve Kleiss here, trying to climb the hill of Aqua Minerale, and it seems like it's going to be Aqua River, it seemed like, so Water River in a way, but down into toward that chicane, it seemed like the rear were just sliding away. It just didn't seem like it wanted to cooperate, especially with potentially the rear brakes being forced all the way back and down in towards the left-hander Rivazza. Joey Ireland already feeling the pressure from the New Zealander in behind, and he'll get off the exit here of turn 19 of the final corner and see if he can potentially try and create a bit of a gap, because Corey Lazarus has seemingly got all that spray right up against his windshield, as it looks like Tristan Engelstadt is going to be trying to get past here. Ruben Iglesias getting a great angle. You see the spray is almost unseeable. We're kind of glazing the side here of the Andorra La Vella car, and it looks like off the track he goes. He's now braked himself, and that will see Tristan Engelstadt go up a place. So will Dominic Beck. Will Oliver Schultz maybe even get up another place here? So yeah, Ruben Iglesias losing 2 in that battle, unfortunately for him, but it still rages on in the rain.
In the rain and in the slippery bits, it is going to be Tony Despotakis who gets past Steve Kleiss. Carlson past Sikera. Kleiss and Despotakis battling constantly in that 13-14 position, but Steve Kleiss gonna get a slowdown there. That's gonna end up losing him out to Carlson as well, who's come onto the back of that battle. That is a nice little train back there. Despotakis, Carlson, Kleiss and Sikera all locked in that fight. Nevin Shani getting past Munson as Munson actually falls down the order, so as he had a moment, as there is Steve for the Eagle Speed Academy esports team, gonna be looking for the inside now as they go through the left-hander. Very nice move. You can make a move here personally from my experience, but now down into Aqua Minerale, gonna be right on the rear bumper of that red Porsche ahead. That is of course Christian Carlson, who we now ride on board with, looking on the right hand side towards the rear view, and there is the other car. Schultz and Iglesias going to be fighting a little bit further ahead, but Schultz is going to get a slowdown there, as indicated by the yellow flag. Corey Lazarus also going to get past Joey Ireland a little bit further up front. Kim Anderley Borkland, Corey Lazarus, Joey Ireland, Engelstadt and Beck all locked in a fight further up the field. Same with Iglesias, Schultz and Orbendorfer.
So it looks like we've got a replay here. So this was Paul Jouffreau. So we're going to be able to get a replay here of this move down in towards turn number 1. I think Gordon Howe just brakes because he's not sure where to go, and Jouffreau, knowing that the car is up to temperature, he's just gone straight through the gap, and that is unbelievable. I think Petrick also tried to follow in pursuit because he knows how quick Jouffreau is, but by doing that, it just seemed like Gordon Howe managed to wake up and smell the coffee and try and shut the door, but by the time the door was going to be shut, yeah, you just see Petrick just alongside there. Meanwhile, we look back here with Kim Andre Bjorklund. He is battling with Corey Lazarus, and Lazarus seemingly just trying to maneuver his way through the oh, I think he's in a puddle actually, trying to maneuver his way on the outside. Switchback from the New Zealander on the Norwegians. He tries to climb the hill and on towards Piratella. He's sitting on the inside here of Piratella. Bit of contact between the two Porsches, slams the brakes, and he'll get through on that inside line. Corey Lazarus up to P4, but it looks like his championship hopes had been doused with that winning Porsche of Porsche Dufro in P1. So I think Lazarus is just racing for pride here. 139 points back at the start of this one.
I mean, either way, he's gonna try his darn best as we go down in towards the braking zone. Tony Despotakis and Oberndorfer going to be fine in the background. Russell going to be getting past Schultz just behind this. We're riding on board of the bonnet with Engelstadt, with Joey Allen just in front. You can see the spray coming off these tyres. How these drivers can see in these conditions when you're behind another car is absolutely crazy to me, as they head through the left-hand now, trying to find the gap on the inside, but nothing there for the time being. You see how shiny this surface is where you're driving, and they now go down the main straight. This doesn't seem like Italy. This seems like Britain, Adam, with the sun out at the exact same time that the rain is falling. Either way, it does create a spectacle live here on Apex Racing TV as the wheel-to-wheel side-by-side, Tony Despotakis and Ruben Iglesias.
Yeah, interesting. Just having a look at the lap comparisons last time around. Paul Dufro, 157.5. Joey Petrick, 2-minute 051. That is a big moment in this one. Oh, that seemed like Alex Russell coming back onto the track as we ride with Tony Despotakis. He's all over the back here. Ruben Iglesias will look for the move, but it seems like it's a no-go for seemingly the Greek driver. The Andorran will just try and accelerate as he much as he possibly can, but around the outside he will just try and push on this one. But you're seeing that he's right up against the rear and just saying, I need to get past, I need to get past, I do need to get past. But where will that move come? Because it's such a narrow track, Imola. It does kind of invite more racing in the Porsche, but down towards Piratella. It's a brave move here from the black and green car from the LionGPFences.com team. And Despotakis finds a way through, albeit that was a pretty rough and bumpy one through there. Somebody's off on the left-hand side. It seems. I think that might be Joey Petrick. It seems like from the second place here. So has he got a bit of an issue? He's off the track here. It seems. Has he hit the wall? I wonder, because that doesn't seem to be very strict whatsoever, and he's going straight on. That might be equipment failure. That's Petrick. Sorry, yeah, that's Iglesias as well. Carnage ensues here at Imola.
We are going to need a replay on both of those, because what on earth happened there? Well, Petrick, we're going to watch him here, as he's currently he's very wide there through Acqua Minerale. Initial spin. Oh, contact there. I believe that was Bjorklund as they head...
Haug, sorry.
Oh, it was Bjorklund. Haug's back here. Bjorklund was the one who got through. And so now they head through. This is just ahead. That is as we look. There's Petrick. He definitely made contact with the wall. He just he just goes straight on, not really taking to as there. I believe that was Engelstadt.
Ruben Iglesias.
Ruben Iglesias. Yeah, that was Iglesias. So he went round, and this is the incident for Ruben Iglesias, as 9 positions down since the race start, goes over the curb, and is it contact from behind? Yes, it is. Around they go. Not what you want tonight, Adam.
No, that was a little bit chaotic, but let's have a look back here, because the chaos don't stop here. Steve Kleiss on the inside there, and off goes Dominic Beck. He's done that a couple of times during practice and qualifying ahead of tonight's racing here, but it does seem like, again, Beck really struggling. Steve Kleiss staying on strong here. Wide moment there, because that looks to be Sebastian Oberndorfer, and round goes Kleiss. Has he just got completely surprised here from the Austrian driver? He's going to come back on, Oh my word! I thought he was about to hit Thomas Verne potentially in that one. Despotakis with a slowdown. So does Beck. So does Sequeira. Oh my word! And that's going to be Ryan Stringer trying to have a move down in towards chicane. I just want to go back to the top three. We don't have to switch cameras, but I do want to have a bit of a discussion about that top three. It started off with Dufro, then it went to I believe Petrick. So it was Dufro, then Petrick, then Gordon Howe. Now it's Dufro, Lazarus, gap 18 seconds to Kim Andre Bjorkland. That is a wild top three change, and I think Kim Andre Bjorkland, if he can stay where he is, because trust me, he's had a very difficult season. This would be his first podium since Hockenheim at for the first race at Hockenheim a few rounds ago. So it does seem like he's in a place that will hopefully secure that and kind of reset that stat. Bye Steve Clydes. That was a very risky kind of braking there. It seemed like they made contact as well. That was a bit of a weird hit, and I think Ryan Stringer tried to correct the steering wheel, but yeah, they're still going at it. Still Clydes is right on the rear here of Stringer, and this is absolute chaos. They still hit each other.
Not what they would have wanted at all, as Stringer and Kleiss are still going to go at it round the outside here for Steve. Is he going to be able to get it? No, he will not. That's going to be Stringer. Oh no, that's contact. Round they go into the barrier, and that is damage to front end. Do not make contact when rejoining, please, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to be really unfortunate for him. But Adam, I'm looking at the weather right now. You know something that can help you in these type of weather conditions?
What can help you?
Oh, what can help you? What can help you is track guides and, of course, setups. And do you know a place where you can get all of those? That's right, it is the Apex Racing Academy, and this is the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Series. You can get gold, silver, or bronze subscriptions at apexracingac.com. That's EAPEXRACING all lowercase, apexracingac.com for setups and track guides for over 50 cars, including the Porsche Cup cars that you see tonight, and track guides. So be sure to check them out. And Adam, you were talking about those top three. I'm going to go back to those top three here for a second, because I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at the points and I'm looking at the standings. If it stays like this, then Paul Jouffreau will have this championship secured with this result. Tony Despotakis needs to be... Tony Despotakis, he's fallen down the order now. He's all the way down in P number 4. Bjorkland is just ahead, so he will actually get a move up into P number 5 if my calculations are correct. Corey Lazarus is currently, before this race, 628 points, whilst Despotakis is on 700. So, if something happens to Despotakis here, where he loses another few positions, it is within Corey Lazarus's reach to take an extra position in this championship.
Indeed. So there's going to be so much to kind of discuss on this one, because the rain is going to continuously pour down, and the points are very much going to be taken into consideration. Gordon Howe, they're still sitting in 8th. As far as we're aware, he will take the amateur championship lead here, and will go into that final race with the possibility of taking the championship win here. He's also on course as well to be to score championship team points for Sim Racing Norway for the first time this season. A black flag here for Sebastian Obendorfer there from P13, so that's not going to be ideal for the Austrian driver. Seems like it's going to be instant points for him as a couple of changes happen throughout the field. But yeah, it does seem like Gordon Howe, if he does get to do this, fair play. This will be, as I said, this will be the first time he gets to score points for Sim Racing Norway. Only the top 2 of the team will be able to score those points. Now let's have a look here at Sebastian Obendorfer. Oh, just loses it on the second curb, spins himself round, and I don't know where the black flag really came into here. So that's probably that might have been it. So just hitting the curb, spinning round. kind of triggered that black flag to say, you know, come in the pits and serve your penalty. So really unfortunate there for the Austrian driver. But whilst people are losing people are losing their cool, it does seem like Paul Giuffre is not losing his 22-second lead here, and his seemingly 6/10 of a second of anybody else's fastest lap, apart from maybe Joey Petrick as well. So yeah, because for the likes of Despotakis, his fastest lap of the race was a 2:0, which is pretty shame, to be honest, because you know we would think that he's you would think he's a pretty quick driver, but when it comes to the rain, a lot of people do like to call it the big equalizer. But some people may see it as kind of a way to separate the men from the boys, you know, and I think that's exactly what it does. Some people love the rain, some people hate the rain, and with 5 minutes left to go in this race, we're really starting to see these drivers really get challenged. They're starting to make their way and really find a little bit of a rhythm in the rain, but it's still going to be a constant pressure to try and get right. Again, Rossell, black flag for him as well. That's not going to be ideal from ninth. Battles continuing all the way through the field.
Yeah, and just a bit more calculation here. Gordon Haug will want to get another position here and hope that Schultz will overtake Tristan Engelstadt, because if it currently stays as it is, where Engelstadt sits P number 5 and Gordon Haug sits P number 8, as Joey Ireland is going for a move right now on Schultz. But if it stays like that, the gap between Engelstadt and Haug will be down to just 14 points. So that is then going to be the one for the championship in race number 2, as it does currently sit. So that is what he's going to have to hope for. He wants to get another position here, but it's going to be hard, as Joey Ireland still all over the back of Schultz here as he's going through into the chicane, trying to hold on to it very close as he uses these curbs to the absolute maximum. But look at this, all nose to bumper, these three. This is an amazing fight to watch. Joey Ireland is 4 positions down since the race start, but Gordon Haug is down 7. As Gordon Haug now down 6, as he is going to go wheel to wheel, side by side for a moment. Is he going to get this position? Yes, he will. And then also Oliver Schultz, 6 positions up since this race start.
Indeed, he is. So some really positive stuff there for Oliver Schultz. He's been very, very quiet throughout this race for the Luke Mansky Racing esports team. But as you say, climbed up into 6th ahead of Gordon Haug, ahead of Joey Ireland. But it's going to be Tristan Engelstadt who looks to be taking the race win here in the amateurs. But you know how much that means to him, because he's had one before, but that was all the way back at the first race at the Bend over in Australia. But Haug will try and come back here against the Polish driver. He'll charge his way down towards the toward the left-hander here at I believe it's Rivazza, and then just on the brakes there, planting that car in the middle. It seems like Gordon Haug has nowhere to go. Did also try and scare him off. Corey Lazarus is in the pit here. That's really strange. So I wonder if he's maybe either serving a penalty, or could he potentially... No, he can't be changing tyres. That would be silly. But I think, yeah, there is a penalty for Corey Lazarus. That means Tony Despotakis heads up into P3. He will exit the lane here, does Lazarus. And I think he's just going to be overtaken there by Dominic Beck, maybe by Pascal Veal. And there's contact between the two drivers there. Gordon Haug will just have to keep his place here of P6, with the Polish drivers still out in front. Joey Ireland would also want to try and potentially poke his nose into this battle, which is exactly what he's about to do.
They are going to be all over each other, looking for another position over and over again towards the dying stages of these races. 2 minutes remain on the clock here. I believe, if calculations serve correctly, this will be penultimate. So this is going to be the interesting one. There is Paul Giuffre. He is miles ahead on the circuit. Like, he's coming down into Livazza 1 and Livazza 2. In fact, this is going to be onto penultimate. This is going to be onto the final lap here now, because the last lap time he set was a 1:57. So 2 minute lap time. We're going on to the final lap here with Paul Giuffre leading by 31 seconds. P number 2 is only just coming through the back chicane, as that white flag is at the moment only for Paul Jouffreau.
Indeed. So we'll have to see how the rest of them do, because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Well, I think for maybe Engelstad, I'm not sure if he'll reach the flag before 25 minutes, it seems like. But he is drifting through turn number 3. Did you just see that? Unbelievable. Paul Jouffreau is just stunting on these Porsche drivers. Just keep it on the road, please, because you are about to cross the line and be crowned champion. Jouffreau is on an absolute charge. Steve Kleiss just got a black flag, so he's in the pit lane, and he will be down into 23rd. So I wonder if he's made a big collision with somebody in the backstage of the race, but I'm being told he didn't crash, but he might have just hit the barrier, damaged his car on his own potentially. Still battles going on all throughout the field, but we'll have a very, very quick look at Steve Kleiss's incident here, down in towards Acqua Minerale, where it's so slippery. It's almost probably like a pond here. Through the right-hander, there you go, lose it in front of the all-green car. So he'll be just stuck there and transported his way back to the pits. But here is your race winner. Paul Jouffreau just needs to keep it on the circuit. Hopefully nothing breaks for him with a 33-second lead. As Despotakis has taken the fastest lap with a 1:57.491. So he's getting pretty quick in these latter stages. But it'll be one corner to go for the Unity Racing Team driver. A fantastic season the Frenchman has had. Unbelievable for his standards. Paul Jouffreau is the season 14 Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup champion in the pro category. A absolutely phenomenal season, and he's taken the fastest lap on the last lap. 1:57.411, 35 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. I'm going to ask a question to anyone here. What is French for Rainmaster?
No idea, but Tony Despotakis right now, he's going to be wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side with Kim André Blokland. Going to be a drag race to the line. Tony comes home just ahead by 8 thousandths of a second between those two. Tlisty and Engelstad will come on P number 4 with Schultz P5, and Gordon Haug will be P number 6. This is the interesting factor now. We've had the pro decided. The amateur comes down to race number 2. There is no Lenny Kiefer in sight, meaning it comes down to Engelstad and Haug, but Carlson's going to be on the back of Worm right now. That is going to be the final bit there. But this is the interesting part. P4, P6 in this race. Is between Engelstad and Haug with only 15 points between them. Haug will lead into race number 2. What can Engelstad do?
Yeah, big questions to be asked in this one. Here's Ryan Stringer trying to get past Jason Munson for 20th. And whilst it might not be a battle for some top places, Stringer will do whatever he can to try and get past that all-blue Briton car. You see him soaring at the wheel, but nothing for the Quad Dash Racing car. He'll head over the line for P21, but they'll have one more run, one more showdown, one more attempt to get whatever they possibly can. And of course, they will also have a 3-minute warm-up, I believe, unless I'm thinking of another championship. They will go into that 3-minute warm-up, but then they'll go into another race. So we'll see if there's any development in the weather, but these are your results. Paul Jouffreau is your pro champion after this race, ahead of Tony Despotakis. Kim André Bjorklund in P3 with Tristan Engelstad and Oliver Schultz, with Gordon Haug and Joey Ireland in P7. Dominic Beck will be in P8 with Pascal Veal, and Corey Lazarus will be round out the top 10. And he's had a bit of a tricky race, as Corey Lazarus, but there was P2 who was there, but not quite in the end. Joey Petrick, after a very, very difficult race here, potential equipment failure as well for him. He finishes down in 11th for the LionGP.com team. It will also be Lazarus on reverse grid pole. And we find Helder Sequeira, the Andorran driver, ahead of Ruben Iglesias, the two ACA esports team drivers, finishing in 12th and 13th. They'll be hoping to go a couple of places better come the next race. Thomas Worm will be P14 ahead of Christian Carlson and Alex Rossell. Kevin Chevalier in P17 for the Unity Racing team. A decent result, but he still needs to continue to get up in the higher places because that championship seemingly is going to Sim Racing Norway at the end of the second race. Sebastian Obendorfer for the Austrian driver for the LionGP.com team will be P18. We hope to see a lot of these drivers back next season, but we'll have to see how it goes. Max Devonshire, the Portuguese driver, the privateer, also finishing in 90th with Jason Munson. We saw leading a field of 3 Britons with Stringer and Danny Huntley in behind. A retirement for Steve Clyde in the latter stages, and then Alex Cassia retired on the opening lap of this race for the Snails Motorsport team. Well, what a chaotic race that was. I think we all struggled to keep up with that one. And, you know, pacing was very, very difficult, I think, for all of us here in the commentary box and the production box.
Well, let's get ready to do it again, because like I said, we still got to be decided. What can help you out with winning some championships? It's setups and track guides. Of course, go to apexracingac.com for setups and track guides for over 50 cars, including the Porsche Cup cars that you see tonight. All made and produced by the Apex Racing Academy. Of course, this is the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup series. Setups, track guides for over 50 cars, including the Porsche Cup. You can purchase a bronze, silver, or gold subscription at apexracingac.com. That's APEXRACING AC.com. All lowercase, apexracingac.com. Let's get ready to rumble here then, because we have got the amateurs to decide as the warm-up comes to an end here. Of course, you're going to have the reverse lineup from what we saw in race number 1, Adam. This is about to become a whole lot more interesting.
It will do, and I can assure you the rain will continue to fall here at Imola. It shows no signs of going away. And is that a thunderstrike? It seemed like a thunderstrike AC/DC reference, so you're welcome in that one. So really excited to see what happens in this one. Of course, we still have those 2 championships to be decided. Here is your grid. Corey Lazarus will be on pole position. Pascal Veal will be alongside him for the RT Esports team. Dominic Beck, his fellow countryman, in P3, with Joey Island will be in that second row of the grid. Gordon Howe will be P5 with Oliver Schultz, and Tristan Engelstad, the Swede, will be alongside his fellow Scandinavian Kim-Andre Bjorklund. The 2 championship rivals as it wrapped up with Tony Despotakis in P9. He'll be sharing the row with Paul Jufro. Joey Petrick will be hoping to put himself up a little bit higher than he currently is, P11 for the Swiss driver. Helder Sequeira will be alongside Ruben Iglesias with Thomas Verm and Christian Carlson. Alex Rossell will be in P16 with Kevin Chevalier in P17. What about Sebastian Obendorfer, the Austrian driver? But it looks like we go racing here in Austria, here in Imola for the final time, and they'll run their way down in towards Tamburello corner. Will it be Corey Lazarus at the end, leading at the end of all of this? They'll file their way through turns 1 and 2 and into all 3. It seems like it's been a little bit more cleaner compared to that first race, but it looks like now there's going to be a little bit of pressure here coming in from behind for the New Zealander. It looks like Dominic Beck is now trying to carry on the pressure. Joey Island's also trying to get himself involved, but it's just about feeling around the circuit on these cold tires, these cold brakes, this cold car. They all try and find a way through on towards Tozer. It seems like a couple of drivers going off. That seem to be one of the Quad Dash Racing drivers of Ryan Stringer, and they head their way up towards Piratella. Kim-Andre Bjorklund has had a spin for the Sim Racing Norway team, drops all the way down to 21st, it seemed like, and I don't think Alex Cassia or Pascal Veal have managed to get going in this one either. I think Kevin Chevalier has also gone into the pits as well, so unfortunately for those two, they seem to be now pretty much all written off. Down in towards Acqua Minerale, where it starts to get a little bit more close up, and the Constantina effect becomes very, very much alive here. Side by side down in towards the chicane, Joey Petrick.
Going to be going all for it. Beck going to get a slowdown there. Jumping over the chicane, actually, as Petrick there for a moment. Paul Jouffreau going to get past Schultz a little bit further back. It's incredibly tight on this opening lap. Slow down for Petrick. Slow down for Beck, which they still have to take by the yellow flag. Paul Jouffreau sat P number 7 at the moment. He's on an absolute masterclass tonight, it seems. Heading through the left-hander. Oh, going to have a bit of contact there. Still side by side with the driver, and luckily enough, that's a lovely move by Jouffreau to get past Engelstad. Here he comes down the main straight though. Is it going to be a playback? Yes, it will be. Wheel to wheel, side by side with the spray going to the sky, but not close enough as Paul Jouffreau is going to hold on to that position. In fact, he's going to be hunting down like a shark in water. He is looking for Petrick, who just sits ahead, whilst also a little bit further back you got Munson now, who's trying to get past Sekela as Oberndorfer gets past Carlson. Jouffreau gets past Petrick, and now wheel to wheel, side by side. That's off the road there, maybe Oberndorfer. Yes, it looked like it was. Nevin Shani going to get a little bit of a slowdown there, which he will instantly serve. Now down towards Tosa again. Off the road is going to be Engelstad, and not what he wanted tonight. It seems like a few off-roads have been the repetition of tonight, but Paul Jouffreau, well, he's already P number 5.
He is absolutely incredible. As I said, I might need to ask him if he comes into the interview room, what is French for Rainmaster? I might actually have to make that one of my questions, because he's... Oh, no! Oh, Jason Munson! Oh, my word! He was so close to potentially taking out another driver, but how lucky was he to be able to just fit through that gap, and that blue Porsche will drop all the way down to potentially what could be 20th here, and he does rejoin in P20. But my god, these cars do not like the rain. It seems like you throw up into P4, so I'm sure Alexa will be rubbing its, you know, hands in head thinking, what is going on here? Gordon Howe, I think he's gone round as well. He's dropping like a stone down the order, it seems, and that's 2 Sim Racing Norway's drivers that have been bitten by the rainy conditions. And you throw up the inside. Classic Euro NASCAR move. I know a Euro NASCAR move whenever I see one, and he makes his move there clear on Joey Island. Fantastic maneuver from the Frenchman. Now he has a gap to try and shut down. We have a look at a replay here of Gordon Howe. I think he's just kind of done the same thing that many other drivers have done, hopping over the chicane, unsettles the car. Oh no, he's been hit. It was hit round by what seemed to be one of the Lion GP cars. So I wonder if that was Joey Petrick. It seemed like, I think he might be the unfortunate bystander in that one.
Oh no, what on earth? You gotta wonder though, that's completely opened up the window, because Gordon Howe is now down in Despotakis currently, P number 14. Haug is falling further and further. I'm looking at this right now because Engelstad is P number 9. If it stays like this, which honestly I wouldn't be surprised if it does, Engelstad has this championship locked and loaded. The teams probably might already be trying to open up the champagne bottle in the garage, but right now Worm is putting on an absolutely stellar defense as Oberndorfer is trying to make his way through as well. As then again, it might get a bit diluted in the rain as it does now head through the left-hander down towards Aqua Minerale. It is all over the place. There is Ruben Iglesias. Dominic Beck makes his way past Corey Lazarus. As Schultz is round there on the exit of Aqua Minerale. Engelstad and Iglesias now going to be fighting for position as they head down towards the chicane. And now also going to have Russell in the back of this fight all over these curbs as Dominic Beck gets a slowdown, unfortunately. But Paul Jouffreau once again closing in that gap, it seems, as I say that, it opens up. But he is being the fastest man on circuit at the moment. The furthest on circuit at the moment is Dominic Beck. 2 positions up since his race start. And he is riding the high. There is Paul Jouffreau as he makes his way around the circuit. The absolute maître de la pluie. And he is on a ride tonight.
So We have production asking what is a Maître de la Pluie. So that is the Google translation of Rainmaster from English to French. It seems like, oh my word, that's Joey Petrick almost into the back of Paul Dufro. Joey Petrick, I think, was completely locked up on all four tires, and the Frenchman somehow survives. I wonder if he was aware of that in his rear view mirror. But I also wanted to kind of have a look at the timings, because I'll let you know now. Paul Dufro, 2-minute 2.3, so the rate is getting worse. Dominic Beck, 2-minute 3.2, so 9/10 of a second faster than Dominic Beck. Corey Lazarus, 2-minute 5.1 last time around, so that's 2.8 seconds faster than the New Zealander. I think it might just be that the New Zealander cannot deal with the wet conditions. But what about Joey Petrick? He was at a 2-minute 3.6 last time. He did a 2-minute 1.7 last time around. So he is looking about 7/10 faster than the Frenchman up ahead. So Petrick has a big opportunity here to go and take a win in this championship. But Corey Lazarus being a real cork in the bottle. If he seemed to be letting Dominic Beck go here, whilst the timing continued to just dive down. But look at it, just extending from 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. It's going to extend to here. Dufro will want to desperately get past Corey Lazarus here. Remember, it's an extra 5 minutes during this race, just to allow other drivers to maybe make their way through here. And of course, Paul Dufro really being able to read the rear wing there of Corey Lazarus. How defensive will Lazarus go? It allows a lot of space there for the Frenchman. So you're going to try and grab a little bit of extra speed by taking that outside line here. And it looks like even Dufro is going to now find himself in front, and brilliant maneuver here from the Frenchman, and he'll head in towards Tamburello corner ahead. Oh wait, Joey Petrick on the outside line, off onto the gravel he goes.
Nice little bite of the gravel and onto the circuit again. Not what you... So many drivers seem to be struggling with that corner. Munson going to get a slowdown. Bjorklund going to be getting past Nevin Shani. Nevin Shani seems to be going a little bit slow there. So what has happened to the silver and blue... Well, the grey and blue Porsche, I should say. The Portuguese driver falling back, but now he's trying to catch up again. Slow down there for Munson. Stringer's at a moment. He is round at Tamburello. So what on earth? He is round, and he's going to get the car going again as we get the beautiful webcam there to seeing what the driver is doing inside the car and inside the rig. It's always good that we can...
Back scratches.
I'm not laughing at the person, I'm laughing at what our producer's saying in my ear. I apologise. But it's always good to see the drivers in the rig. Gordon Howgre at the current moment making his way through. 11 positions down since the race start. Not what he would have hoped for tonight, Adam.
No, not at all. Oh, Gordon Haug. That's a bit of a wide moment there. And I wonder if he's going to be feeling the pressure here. Look at Joey Munson there. I think he wants an open opportunity to try and go through on the Sim Racing Norway driver. But, you know, Gap said no, it seems. Munson trying to get the exit, but just a boot through a throttle. And the car decides to wheel spin out of Aqua Minerale. I wonder what the weather conditions are doing at this moment in time, because the track temperature is 16.6 degrees, but it probably doesn't feel like that. Oh, two cars off! That's Thomas Verm and Oliver Schultz. It seems like the German and the Polish driver. So unfortunate between those two, and my word, that was... yeah, not going to be ideal whatsoever. So drivers dropping off left, right and centre. Meanwhile, Paul Dufro has put an absolute lap time of his life here to put an A1 58.226. And he's going to try the inside here. Dominic Beck, will he get the car slowed down? He's sitting there on that inside line. Will switch back and he'll set up the move for Toza. He will try that outside line. Now, will the outside of Toza have any grip? It seems he'll try the outside line. Yes, it does. It does find the grip. Does he find the traction? I think he might do by putting a speck of his rear tire on the dry patches on the outside of Toza. through he goes, and I think he's got up into the lead, and he has. That is the reason why some of the Brits do it best in the rain. We are forced to, in rental karting, dry tyres on a wet track, find the outside patches where the rain is not on, where the rain is away from. See if they can go on towards the next corner with a bit more traction. Thank you very much, Jim Cunningham, for trying to put me off there, but I just about managed to say what I was trying to say. Despotakis, I think, was just on that grassy patch. That's not going to go good because, you know, if water and grass mix with the tyre, you get an ice rink.
It could end up being a bit of a sing-song sometimes when the car almost goes round, just like it almost does there for the Spaniard of Russell. So they are currently making their way around. Corey Lazarus currently chasing down Dominic Beck. We may have a 3-car fight for the lead at this race, but Petrick is on the back of Lazarus. He may want to make it a 4-car fight as they head down the main straight now. The New Zealander defending from the Swiss driver with the moving camera down the main straight, down towards Tamburello, and they're still going to be right there alongside him. But no, Corey's going to choose the smart way, and he's going to back it out of it. You do not want an incident going down into there. They'll have to wait again and either try at Villeneuve or Tosa as they continue here. The spray gets absolutely thrown into the camera. Our cameras must have wipers because there's no droplets on it at all. As we continue through the chicane now, rear end slip out there for Petrick as they now try and catch the car. All the sparkles of the wetness going all across the circuit through the left-hander now. Munson getting past Kim Anderley Borkland a little bit further back, and Engelstadt with a slowdown. Same with Joey Allen, wheel to wheel, side by side is Kim Anderley Borkland, and of course Munson, but also Haug. So they are fighting each other, and Chavler going to get a slowdown. That will allow Schultz and Worm to get past him. Pascal Wheel getting past, and he's now going to be out of this race actually, so that's unfortunate for him. Bjorkland with Munson, slight contact there. Munson had to catch the car as once again these drivers head into Tosa.
Oh! Sorry, Jason Munson there having a big moment there. It looks like the rear just completely locking up there and almost going into the back of Kim Andre Bjorkland. So it looks like he was trying to smell the rear end of the Norwegian, it seems. Meanwhile, his teammate trying to go for the overtake. Jason Munson will not. Jason Munson will not want to go for. Will not want to go wide there. He will stick on the racetrack in towards Aqua Minerale. You'll just see the tyres start to just over-rotate, it seems, in those wet conditions, those icy conditions, as of course with the way the circuit goes with the likes of Aqua Minerale, the water just comes down both sides of the hill. So when you're at the bottom of it, it just becomes an ice rink, and especially when you're turning and turning and trying to drive the car, it just does not work. Meanwhile, up at the further ends here, Ruben Iglesias leads in this battle for P9 over it looks like Despotakis, and looks like Joey Petrick has now managed to go for a move here, and Dominic Beck in towards Tamburello corner. Good stuff there from the Swiss driver.
Absolutely lovely. At the end of the day, the Frenchman leads in this race, but will Petrick have something to say about it? It's a Frenchman, it's a Swiss driver, and it's a German, all on that current podium, but the man from across the world will want to deny. Corey Lazarus is coming onto the back of this fight. Is he going to be able to get an extra position on this podium? Let's find out. Plenty of support for these drivers tonight, including Paul Jouffreau in the chat. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications to get notified every single time Apex Racing TV goes live. And of course, this is the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Series. And of course, Apex Racing Academy produces setups and track guides for over 50 cars, including the Porsche Cup cars that you are seeing tonight, as that's a really unfortunate moment there for Joey Petrick. And he went very deep there at Aqua Minerale. A setup can definitely help for that, and you can purchase bronze, silver or gold subscriptions at apexracingac.com. That's apexracingac.com, all lowercase. Go to apexracingac.com for track guides and setups for over 50 cars.
Down in towards the chicane we go. This is a decent battle here between a couple of cars. Joey Ireland there. Is he squeezing a driver onto the grass? It seems like, yes, that's Alex Russell. But he's still going to find a way up the inside. Can he get the car slowed down? He absolutely can. So Joey Ireland trying to show a bit of grass to Alex Russell. And I'm sure the Spaniard took that personally by going up the inside and finding a move on the Breton. So really good racing. The racing all throughout this one has been absolutely exceptional. It has helped with the chaos of the rain, but yeah, you got to admit, how good has this one been? It's been impeccable. There's been mistakes, there's been crashes, there's been good overtakes, there's been absolute dive bombs from drivers. And it's just been a really, really great show of attrition here. As we see now Sebastian Obendorfer now looking forward with Joey Ireland. He's now going to be feeling pressure from Tony Despotakis in behind. The vice champion now trying to find a way through on Ireland. A good switch to the inside here for the Greek driver. He'll try and fire away up the inside line, but on that outside for Ireland, he'll find the grip. I think Sebastian Obendorfer will be looking at this thinking, yeah, there might be a possibility that I can try and find a way through. Despotakis brave on the brakes there. He knows what these Porsche Cup cars can and can't do, and that is why he's the vice champion of this championship. It seems like also it's got very, very dark in the last couple of laps. It seems like, I don't know when it kind of has, and I just haven't noticed, but the lights are glowing from these cars. So I think there may be a big opportunity for these cars to be flashing away and trying to distract the drivers ahead, if that's even an operation that can be pushed from the Porsche Cup cars. I hope so, because that will be something that would be great to see if there'll be any kind of distracting overtakes here. So Lazarus on the defensive here, Joey Petrick down in towards Tamburello. Let's have a watch of this one.
Indeed, we will. Once again, down towards it. It's Corey Lazarus who's on the defensive. Here comes Petrick. Looking for the inside. Gonna squeeze and thread the needle. But almost. Oh, that looked like contact. It seems like there was jumping and bouncing. The sparks are flying. And that is not what they would have wanted. Petrick went for the inside line. Seems like he got caught up on the front left side of Corey Lazarus. And that would end him sending him onto the sausage curbs on the inside of the Tamburello chicane, reminiscent of 2021 back here in Formula 1. If you know, you know. Engelstadt, Iglesias and Obendorfer now battling a little bit further back. It seems like Obendorfer ended up losing quite a few positions there. And once again, we will remind you here, the AM Championship and the Teams Championship are both on the line, as this is what happened to Obendorfer as they headed down in towards Tamburello. And I think that's just going to be a classic. Oh, no. Oh. So, initially, that wasn't his fault. And, there's the second hit. You have one bump. It's unlucky. You have a second bump. I think the racing is. I think Imola might be trying to tell you some matters. Oh, right across the curbs there is Corey Lazarus. Petrick is just gonna fly his way through because, yep, Lazarus is gonna get a slowdown here, but they're still gonna fight for it. Lazarus has a slowdown. When is he gonna be able to serve it though? That's gonna happen there and then. Ireland and Iglesias gonna be getting past Despotakis. Slowdown still in effect for Corey Lazarus, so he's yet to serve that. However, of course, 15 points because of race 1. It is 15 points for the championship between Gordon Haug and Tristan Engelstadt. So, where they do currently sit on the leaderboard, it is Tristan Engelstadt who sits in P number 5, and then Iglesias is going to be P number 9. So, at the current rate, well, Iglesias is P number 9. Where is Gordon Haug? I was looking for Gordon Haug. My eyes looked elsewhere for some reason. Gordon Haug is 14th. Going to be 14th. So, at the current moment, championship will go the way of Tristan Engelstadt.
Really good stuff. Amazing for Engelstadt, but it's still not over. I'm also glad we've got another rendition of Alexa Marshall and the sausage jokes. That will be, I'm sure, put in the books of our personal, of our kind of personal inside jokes here at Apex Racing TV. Our little kind of trifecta of production and co-commentators. Meanwhile, Engelstad, speaking of, the Swedish driver is currently leading this little tussle, but Alex Rosell, who is like right behind him, you can see they're trying to push the quad dash racing driver up the hill towards Rivazza. This is also the lead battle in the amateurs for this one. So around the outside, you tried to find any form of grip, but you know the tires just said no grip here. Look somewhere else. What about down towards Aqua Minerale? Will he be able to slow it up? It seemed like he's been able to potentially get it on the brakes there, but Rossell still having to look around and see if he could potentially go in towards maybe Rivazza. Might be another overtaking opportunity for him, but Tristan Engelstad is playing his cards really well, and that's going to be Helder Sekera for it was seemingly the ACA esports team. He's going to get overtaken there by third in the AMS, Joey Island, and here comes his ACA esports team teammate of Ruben Iglesias at the inside, just not quite there it seems. Meanwhile, Jufro and Beck gap is closing 1.3 seconds. Iglesias, the rear really wants to step out there, but he just managed to hold it there as Howe is overtaking his teammate of Kim Andre Bjorklund, but now he's going to try and go on the move here as Steve Kleiss, it seems.
So they do continue here, Sekera and Ireland constantly battling each other. Further and further though, this is going to be Russell and Engelstad as they go in wheel to wheel, side by side, through these corners, into the chicane. Once again, that was a nice clean move by Russell. So absolutely lovely. Simply lovely, some may say, in the sim racing world. And now it is all to play for. The Spaniard as P number 5 for Russell, P number 6 for Engelstad, P number 8 for Ireland, P number 9 for Iglesias. Hauge is down in P number 13, so that's how it currently sits in the AMS at the moment. And then, by no surprise, it is Paul Jufro leading, followed by Dominic Beck, then Corey Lazarus. And Adam, I'm going to tell you something here. We've still got 7 minutes left in this race.
We do, so expect plenty of chaos, plenty of overtaking, plenty of battles. So really intrigued to see how this is all going to be attempted, because I want to have a look and see what Gordon Hauge is doing, because he currently sits 13th in the standings here at the moment. So he's looking to see if he can try and potentially get past Steve Kleiss. And I wonder how crucial this will be for the championship, because just having a look kind of around, I think that 13 points means he's going to be on 38, gaining 38 points. And Engelstad is going to be on in 6th place. But how many points will he be getting as I try and have a look around? Yeah. That will be interesting. Despotaki with the black flag as well, so that's going to help Gordon Hauge here. So it might be a late comeback, and this will be very worrying for the Swedish driver and the Quad Dash Racing team. Probably settled in that garage with a very nervy team here. This is going to potentially end in upset. Ruben Iglesias we've got here. He's right side by side there with Joey Island. He's gone through an island, and Sebastian Obendorfer is trying to find an opportunity to go through here, but wide there. Obendorfer with a black flag as well. That's going to be massive here. Gordon Hauge is slowly making a comeback in this one, and this could be the championship in the latter stages for the Sim Racing Norway driver.
It is all to play for P6. This will be P number 11 for Gordon Hauge. He's going to get P number 10, possibly, if he can get past Steve Kleiss here. So now, wheel to wheel, side by side, down into Tosa. They are fighting and jostling like there is no tomorrow, because Gordon knows what he has to do. But he has got to get past the pro of Steve Kleiss, as actually Dominic Beck up front's had a moment. He's fallen behind Petrick and Corey Lazarus. But now, through the left-hander, Steve Kleiss going to be on the inside, heading towards towards the Aqua Minerale, as there's Huntley for a reason, as we give him a little bit of screen time, as we haven't seen him that much this race. There is Russell, and now we go back to Steve Kleiss in P number 12. He's trying to make his way through, but Gordon Haug has made that move. It's 15 points that he needs to be ahead, that he needs to be in this, if I'm looking at this correctly. Yes, he needs to be 15 points, and it will be his at the current moment in P number 11. He will get P10 due to that penalty ahead. So if he gets P number 10 from this race, he will pick up 41 points. Where they are currently sitting of Engelstadt, who is the closest person to him and trying to overtake him, he's currently sat P6 and will take 49 points. So, this has been, in the matter of 2 singular laps, it has been thrown out of the window, it's been thrown out of the car window, and Gordon Haug has a chance to win this back. It comes down to Engelstadt because Joey Petrick now has a black flag.
Yeah, this is going to be big. So does, yeah, as he said, Joey Petrick is a black flag as well. How big is that going to be in this one? Because, of course, he'll have to come into the pits. He'll have to stop. But, you know, he's going to be over 30 seconds to the back of... he'll have over 30 seconds to Gordon Howe. What about Joey Petrick? Wow, lose it on the curves. So lucky. So that off track was the reason why the black flag, and that's the instant point. That's pretty much got him to stop in the pits. And that's going to be Corey Lazarus going off the road, and he's just managed to keep it just in a straight line, luckily. And wow, this is going to be an absolute another twist of the tail.
All to play for. The tail can change at any moment. 7 seconds the difference between Paul Jouffreau and Corey Lazarus. 4 seconds between Lazarus and Beck. The podium may be decided. It is now down to Engelstadt and Gordon Haug. Who is going to come out on top in this one? Russell has a drive-through. Is that going to be playing into the factors? Not a drive-through, slowdown I should say, with Petrick, of course, with the black flag. If he doesn't serve it in the pit stops, I believe it will be a very large penalty. I believe it can vary from like 30 seconds to 90 seconds. So we'll have to wait till the end of the race if he doesn't serve it quickly, because there's about just under 2 minutes left on the clock, and the battle for 7th is all over the place. I will just say this as we are looking at it. Massive gains tonight from all of these drivers. 13 positions up is Steve Kleiss.
Yeah, massive. That's going to be really huge for him. These drivers have been constantly working away. There hasn't been a moment where they've, had a rest whatsoever. And Tristan Engelstad needs this, because look at that off the track. There goes Russell, and that's going to be another penalty here. Black flag for Russell. Slow down for the both of them as well. So that will see now Tristan Engelstad up to 4th place because the black flag from Petrick, because of the black flag from Russell. But how will that how will that go with Gordon Haug? Because Haug's up into 9th here, so he'll be getting more points. This is seriously changing. And of course, with these penalties, they're not served. By the time they get to the checker flag, they're going to be adding 40 seconds onto their time here. So, that might be something they decide to do. Looks like Schultz is out. He decided to retire on his own terms. But Joey Petrick is very much involved in what could be a very much heartbreak for Tristan Engelstad. Yeah, because at this rate, Gordon Haug, he's going to swing round. Gordon Haug has gone round. But how many places will he drop? One to Steve Kleiss, but where is Iglesias? He is not there. Petrick's in the pits. Russell is going to come into the pits, I believe. We'll have to see how he does, because we've got the clear indication Petrick's in the pits. Russell is potentially in there as well. Kim-Andre Bjorklund. I wonder if there'll be a bit of a team orders here with Sim Racing Norway to try and just retain Gordon Haug. This is super interesting. There is Paul Jouffreau.
I can confirm this. I need to confirm this. With it currently sits as P number 4 and P number 10. Gordon Haug will win this this championship by 2 points. 2 points.
And he's now going to have a go on Steve Clyde. But what about Roussel? Roussel's had a moment in the mid stages of this one. So, Jufro, we carry on with the Unity Racing Team driver who's been absolutely in form here. We'll have a look here to Gordon Howe, who's looking to try and chase down Steve Clyde. And this move, whether he does it or not, could be the deciding factor. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get 2 screens because I'd love to be looking at both of these battles at the same time. We'll just keep switching here between Jufro and Haug, because I think Haug will still be feeling the pressure. He has no idea where Tristan Engelstad is, and that's a collision between the two. And it looks like I wonder if they've had a bit of a collision. We'll have a look at that at the end of the race, but ninth could be it here round the final corner of Rivazza. Paul Jufro, he wins in the first race, and even after winning this championship, he did it once, he'll do it twice. Here at Imola, Jufro wins here for the second time in 2 races here. But we turn our attention to Gordon Howe, who will just be trying to manage that car through the rain. He'll have a bit of a moment, but he'll be backed up here by Kim Andre Bjorklund, who will allow absolutely no one like Gandalf to be able to touch that car. Through the chicane he heads and on toward the next corners. It seems like you see 2 seconds, there is no way anybody is touching Gordon Haug, and this will be the crowning moment for not just the Norwegian but his team of Sim Racing Norway. He'll pass Roussel for good measures, who makes a mistake at the end of this race, negotiating 1 corner to go, and the amateur championship has swung so many different ways, but it will go to Gordon Haug, and the team's championship is wrapped up with a bow tie for Sim Racing Norway. What a fantastic result. And in this time in Imola, the weekend I think belongs to both Jufro and Haug, whilst Engelstad did everything to win in his amateur class. Well, it was Haug to take the crowning honours. Imola, you've had everything. Absolutely everything and more you could have asked for. Unbelievable.
Always history, no better place to crown it. Russell has, in fact, seemingly ran out of fuel, so he is crawling to the line here. Nevin Shani is going to be racing as quickly as possible, trying to overtake, but I don't think that's going to really happen too much. A little bit of cars action going on, as it will be Russell who will go across the line, and Nevin Shani is actually going to get it. So, is he going to make the line here, Russell? We are going to wait and see. But there is Stringer making their way around at the moment. The Spaniard comes to a halt, and that is not the result tonight. Paul Jufro, Gordon Haug, what a night for those two. But genuinely, we've seen their highs, but you've also got to think of the lows. How is Tristan Engelstad going to feel?
Well, he did everything. Absolutely everything. But it just went in the way of the Norwegian. And you really do have to feel absolute delight for some of our champions. You know, they've really, really worked for it. But you've also got to think about the drivers who have just missed it by millimeters. Of course, I came into this one, and this is brilliant. The 2 quad dash racing drivers side by side, creating that, I'm sure, that photo that will go onto their walls, onto their wallpapers for many, many months, years potentially to come. They'll return to the pits, and I think that kind of signs off an excellent season of ARA Porsche Cup. I don't know about you, Jim and Alexa, but I think it's a little bit emotional. I'd love to do this again, but here comes the racing results. Paul Jufro, second win here at Imola. He's 4th in a row ahead of Corey Lazarus, and Dominic Beck will take the final place on the podium. Your amateur winner of Tristan Engelstad will be ahead of Joey Petrick and Helder Sekera. Joey Island, P7. He'll be on the podium with Gordon Howe taking home the final podium place and being the one that wrapped up the Sim Racing Norway team's champion for his side. Then we'll find further down, past just completing that top 10, Kim Andre Bjorklund and Steve Klyes. Ruben Iglesias did all he could, but only P11. Wasn't quite the ending that he wanted for the ACA esports team. I'm sure he will be back with a vengeance in season 15. Sebastian Obendorfer for the LionGP.com team. He'll be a lot ahead of his teammate Tony Despotakis, who only finished 13th in this curtain closing round, with Jason Munson, Thomas Verm and Kevin Chevalier only 16th for the Unity Racing Team driver. What about Christian Carlson? P17 for him, ahead of Max Nevenchai, and then Alex Russell, Danny Huntley, Ryan Stringer, and then retirements from Oliver Schultz, and then Pascal Veal and Alex Kassir rounds off the final cars. Of course, Veal and Kassir never got going in the end, and well, we have now got I feel a couple of interviews coming up very, very soon. So let me have a look and see who we've got in that waiting room. We've in fact got, I think, 5. So we've got. Let's have a look through here. I think that's Joey. Sorry, we've only got 4. So looks like we've got Dominic Beck, Joey Island, Kim Andre Bjorklund, and Paul Dufro. I think it will be best to bring the winner in, Paul Dufro, and I'll take this one. So we'll wait to see if we can get him in. Paul Dufro, you're live on Apex Racing TV. We meet again, but this time you are the ARA Porsche Cup champion. Yeah, that must feel so nice, especially what happened in Zolder a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, that's so nice. And yeah, I was really hoping for a rainy race because I know that I'm really comfortable in those conditions. So yeah, to be honest, I didn't thought that I will be that fast, but it was pretty nice. And I had a big moment at the second race because I put the wrong setup, so I had 25 minutes of fuel and not 30. So I needed to eco fuel a lot. I was lifting like 150 meters before each break, so it was a bit scary. But we managed to win the both races, so that's really nice.
Yeah, kind of going through that those phases. Of course, you didn't put your car on qualifying. In fact, you're on the second row. How did you feel kind of negotiating that race, and did it feel any easier going through into the latter stages as well?
Yeah, the run was stronger for us in pro in our qualifying, so it was hard to make the same lap. But yeah, I mean, all those guys had a pretty strong pace. But yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, I managed to overtake them. I just had an incident with someone at race 2. I think he didn't saw me at the outside, but yeah, anyways. And so yeah, to be honest, the perfect weekend. I just needed to not crash to be champion. So we won both races, so that's the little gift. But yeah, to win the championship is something really nice because it's a lot of effort. I would really want to say a big bravo to Corey and to Tony. We made a really nice season. I think we pushed each other to the limit. And yeah, it was really nice. There was a lot of good comments. You know, it was really respectful. And we were pushing each other to the limit, no trying to kill the others. So yeah, it was, to be honest, one of my best memory I will have in the iRacing because it was respectful, full of good battles, and yeah, and some good chat with other drivers. So this is something I was really searching when I came to ARA Porsche Cup league.
You know, what are potentially the plans moving forward? Of course, you do have to try and get back on the Euro NASCAR grid unless there are going to be any potential changes. But in terms of, you know, sim racing, it seems like something you are really, really enjoying.
Yeah, I will. I want to take it more seriously. I want to show myself in the best places possible. I think I will just need to change something on my setup, but yeah, I'm really putting a lot of effort on it, a lot of time. I'm really enjoying it. There is so much, a big amount of so good drivers. I'm fighting drivers that are way better than the drivers that I fight in real life, because there is no the money that can break each other. So this is pure talent. I like to lose. I like to understand why I lose. So yeah, it's really competitive for me to fight against these guys in Porsche Cup. They are so fast. And yeah, so I'm taking really a lot of fun. I want to take it really seriously, and you will see me more, I think, than usual.
Yeah, absolutely. I also kind of want to ask you before we go off, what is French for rainmaster?
It's le maître de la pluie.
Okay, because we're going to say that a lot more, especially if you're out on circuit. I think we, if we knew that beforehand, we would have used it plenty of times. Is there anyone you want to shout out before you head off?
Yeah, of course. But all my sponsors, we send it the link to them to see my race. So yeah, big shout out to all my sponsors that make me able to live my dream. To be honest, and to my team that we worked a lot together with Kevin, with Thomas, the boss, and Benjamin Barato. And so yeah, big shout out to them. And yeah, I'm really happy to win this championship.
Absolutely brilliant. We really hope to see you back on Apex Racing TV. But yeah, go and enjoy your victory because that was an absolutely brilliant performance.
Thanks, guys. See you. Thanks for the broadcast.
Thank you very much. So it looks like we're going to be moving on, and Alexa, I'll let you take this one.
Gordon Haug, you are live on Apex Racing TV. A night to remember. Talk us through it, especially in these wet conditions with the AM Championship under the belt.
Yeah, it was crazy, both races. Luckily, we had quite good conditions in the quali, so I think top three were AMS. And I had a fairly good start in race one, but I was taken out by, I think it was Joey Petrig. He spun around and he suddenly was right in front of me. So that was a little bit misfortune, but all in all, I think I had two good races. I don't know about the championship, really. I haven't looked into it, but me and Tristan should be real close, I think.
Yeah, it was very close. Obviously, we need to add the final classifications, but if I've done my maths correctly, it's by about 5 points that you have won the championship. But you were talking about qualifying, and we also heard it from Paul Jouffreau. Obviously, it got a lot heavier towards the end of qualifying. So, do you think being able to go out first in that qualifying session definitely helped you out with your position?
Yeah, in a while it did, because I was able to get a good start, and then I could drive in front for at least one lap. Yeah, but then they passed me. There was some poor drivers that went past me. I think it was it maybe Paul and Joey Patrick? I don't remember. But yeah, it was good for me. Then you don't have to be like in the middle of the pack at the start. That can cause a lot of stuff to happen. So, but if I won, I'm very happy. I haven't calculated it up, but then it's fantastic, really.
Fair enough. And obviously, we'll just do one more quick one. Is there any more plans for the future? Like, I'm pretty sure the ARA series will return. Are you thinking of doing another season, or is there any more plans in the future for you?
Yeah, now I definitely want to join also next season. Also, I'm in the GT3 that Apex is just started up. So definitely, there's a lot of good racing in your series. So, and also the YouTube stream is quite good. So definitely, highly recommend to other drivers.
Oh, fair enough. Before we let you go, is anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, of course, my teammates, Sim Racing Norway, both Christian and Kim. I also think Kim is in the waiting room, so maybe you can have a talk with him too.
Well, fair enough. We shall let you go. Congratulations on the championship.
Thanks a lot.
And that was Gordon Haug.
It was indeed. Of course, our amateur champion. So congratulations to both of our champions we've now officially interviewed. I wonder if we're going to... funny comments from our producer, but I just wonder, should we, because it's now just gone past 9:30, if we could cover another interview or if we should outro this one. This has been one we're trying to discuss. Let's go for Kim Andre Bjorklund, I think. Go for Kim Andre Bjorklund. So, Kim, you're live on Apex Racing TV. A bit of a difficult one for you, but you've managed to get a podium in that first race. Kind of go through the motions of that opening race with us.
Opening race was pretty much fantastic. I just let the other cars make mistakes and pass them as it went on.
Of course, how was it trying to negotiate that rain? Because it was some pretty difficult conditions out there that, really separated the men from the boys today.
It was really hard. I was sliding a bit too much. I think I should have made some setup changes, but I used Apex Racing. I just adjusted the braking balance.
And of course, looking at further events, of course, we'd love to see you back. What are the future plans?
I want to find some more pace in the Porsche Cup. I want to drive it more. So next season I'll be back.
Amazing. And finally, is there anyone you want to shout out?
Of course, Gordon and Christian. I think we managed to win the team championship together. I'm pretty sure. And the rest of the teammates who are in Discord chat with us and helping us when we're driving.
Thank you very much. Absolutely brilliant to have a little bit of a word with you. So go and enjoy your night, and we'll see you next season for season 15 of the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Championship.
Thank you.
Well, I think that we're going to wrap it up there. We do have a couple of drivers just still sitting in the waiting room, but unfortunately, we do have a kind of a time slot where we have to be finishing things up. But yeah, I think overall a really, really amazing season. We've had plenty of winners, plenty of podium sitters, plenty of opportunities for these drivers, and it really does kind of put them on a little bit of a pedestal to be able to prove their worth in some of these championships. But it also puts other drivers maybe further down the field to learn. So if you do want to follow along, I'm sure that you can find somewhere the Apex Racing TV Discord. That's where you can enter some of our races. I'm sure you'll be able to find some places somewhere around our socials at Apex Racing TV, or Apex Racing, whatever. We've got Academy, we've got plenty of other things, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find us there. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. I'm sure those two will be flashing just below you. But for myself, Alexa Marshall, and the brilliant Jim Cunningham in production, from everyone here, take care, good night, and we'll see you for season 15.
Bye.